Well, we've got a packed next few days on the hardwood with a full slate of holiday tournaments, but not all teams in the tri-state see action during the winter break. After wrapping up their December slate with an overtime win at Rumble on the River last week, the Keokuk girls squad won't take the court until after the new year. The Chiefs took on a challenging schedule early on in the season before winning their last 3 straight games. With the break in games, head coach Matt McGackie has a variety of strategies to ensure his team still stays competition ready.
Trying to find some local teams in the area to get in and scrimmage us over the holiday season will help make us better. But just really independently pushing ourselves, trying to get better inter-squad. Obviously, it's a time to self-reflect, self-scout, see what we can improve on and get better at. But just, one game at a time mentality, try to get better and keep pushing ourselves.
Well, the Keokuk team returns to action January 3rd when they take on Mount Pleasant on the road. They'll then compete in the Highland Tournament a few days later.